This video, I'm going to be showing you one wildly unconventional off-road camper and what might be the ultimate overlander. So I'm here with my buddy Chris Duber that owns U-Joint Off-Road, and they specialize in, well, Ford E-Series vans. And I know this doesn't look very van-esque, but he's going to walk us through everything he's done to it and why. So you ready?
Yeah, I'm going to explain it all.
All right, let's do it.
So its internal name at U-Joint Off-Road is V4 2.0. That confuses a lot of people. So it's a second version of what I built back in 2012, which was a flatbed van off an old ambulance chassis, what they call a cutaway chassis. That thing evolved multiple times through the years, and I wanted to have a new chassis. There were a few things I was sick of with the old rig, which was the diesel engine, the transmission. So I said, let's order a brand new chassis while we can, because there's always been rumors of the E-Series cutaway chassis going away for good. So back in 2021, I went to the Ford dealer and just ordered a brand new chassis, inspected the way I wanted it. It showed up about 6 months later, and then we started the build. So in 2021, Ford started putting the 7.3 Godzilla V8 in the E-Series. That was another reason I wanted to get this chassis. We had built some RVs with that engine, and I really liked it. So we've got a 7.3 liter Godzilla V8. Behind that is the 6-speed 6R140 transmission. And then behind that is the 1128 T-case. Some call it new process, some call it new venture, but it's the NP 1128 transfer cases with flanges front and rear. Up front, the suspension on this thing is all custom. We went with a custom, much wider Dana 60 from Dynatrac. So it's a Pro Rock 60 that is a 74-inch wheel mount surface to wheel mount surface. That's a full 5 inches wider than the axle that it had in the past. That enabled a better turn radius and enabled us to package the coilovers in the wheel wells much better. The vans have really small wheel wells. So when you're trying to package that much suspension in that small area, you just run out of room really quick. When there are a lot of comparisons with guys between, Jeeps or trucks, or they come from the Jeep or truck world and they want to do a van and they think that everything from the Jeep or truck world just transfers over to the van, but the wheel wells really limit that. So we got the packaging the way we wanted it, and it's got a much more aggressive stance with that wider tire. Up front, our Pro Rock Dana 60 has 488 gears and has a power lock, a custom built power lock by a friend of mine in California. That power lock has been around for a long time. It's been in multiple rigs. I really like it. I like the way they behave off-road. It's not too aggressive. The rear is the stock Dana 70 that came in the rig when we got it. When I ordered it with 456 gears, not knowing what route I was going to take, and the rig actually showed up as a dually, which I did not spec. So we had a bit of a panic when that showed up. It did have a Grizzly locker in it. I just recently took that out and put a True Track in it. The True Track behaves a little better with the weight of the camper. The Grizzly locker, or a typical Detroit locker, was just too aggressive, and it was making the handling a little squirrely. We're still dialing it in though with the added weight of the camper. I'm probably gonna add a rear sway bar soon, just a real light rear sway bar. It drives great. This thing loves 80 miles an hour. It'll just do 80 miles an hour all day long. So the suspension on this thing is also very unconventional. And if you follow us or you research us, you'll see that U-Joint Off-Road only sells leaf spring conversions. I'm well aware that this is coilover and we sell leaf springs. I think that gives me a unique perspective on what is best for our customers. So with this rig, and some of the parts that we changed over from the last setup, V4 1.0, is the rear suspension. It's basically the same. So it's a trailing arm, triangulated 4-link suspension with a 12-inch travel 3.0 King. Up front, we've got also the 3.0 12-inch travel King shocks coilovers with a 3-link setup. So part of my most recent changes is a new front clip swap. Well, not a front clip swap, but we put a new grill on it. I was out in Colorado in the summer and I saw an E-Series drive by a U-Haul and it had a different grill on it. And I said, what is going on here? Ford hasn't changed the front grill in the E-Series since 2008. It took me a couple months. I saw that first rig in June. It took me a few months to find a VIN number of a rig that had the black new grill. All that I'd seen up to that point were chrome. So we put the 2026 grill. We got some new HID projector headlamps from our friends at Vantage Optics. We also changed out the front bumper to our tube style. Part number is a FB004. It's an all aluminum bumper, helps save weight. We like saving weight where we can. and we gave it a bunch of really nice Baja design lights. We've got 4 LP6s up top, and we've got some Squadron Sports in the bumper with a varying of light patterns, and obviously we've got the amber and the clear. I like having that variety. With the bumper is also loaded with a Warn VR12S winch. We've got a front receiver, our U-Joint Off-Road Agency 6 fair lead, and a Factor 55 thimble. All of our bumpers come with an OBA port and an Anderson plug. So the Anderson plug, the benefit of that is it gives you direct access to the battery without popping the hood. So you can I have a pair of jumper cables that have a pair of these Anderson plugs in them. When they're plugged up, they're traditional jumper cables. When you pull it apart, you can plug it in right there. Gives you direct battery access without having to pop the hood and deal with alligator clamps and all that fun stuff. This rig does have a full onboard air system, so it's got an OBA port front and rear. It's got an ARB compressor with a 2.5 gallon tank, so I can air up my tires and use anything else that we need compressed air for while I'm out on the trail or camping. So for tires and wheels, I just put on these Nitto Trail Grapplers, a 38 1350 17. This is a tire I've wanted for some time. I was waiting for my other tires to wear out before I replaced them. Super happy with them. And I'll tell you, after driving them, I drove 5-6 hours here yesterday. They're not noisy. Like, I was completely satisfied with the look and how they handle and how they sound. The wheels are from a company in California called Innovate Racing. They are one of the few manufacturers who actually build wheels completely in the US. They're forged 17 by 9, and this rig is 8 on 6.5. The wheels have a 4.5 inch back spacing. So here we are in the cab. So this cab back is 12 inches, so it gives you a good bit of room. You can put the seat back and get it comfortable. We've got some storage behind the seat too, so it's not excessive, but it's definitely not like a full-size truck. We've got our S-Pod switches here that controls all the front bumper lights, as well as our onboard air compressor, the chase light, and I can override the reverse lights whenever I want, which is nice. Last night I used it to access this property. I needed some light back there to close the gate, so it's super nice. You just hit that light and turn on all the reverse lights. We've got our shifter here for our four-wheel drive, for our transfer case, and we've got a reverse camera. It's actually got a front and rear camera that records, but I just leave it on reverse all the time because that's all I really need to see. Yeah, so we've got a 10-foot flatbed. So it's one of the things that makes it different than a truck. A lot of people are going to comment on this video and say, you should have just bought a truck. Why'd you go through all this hassle and work to make a van a truck? Or to take, a lot of people think I took a van and then got rid of everything that makes it a van to make it into a truck. So 10-foot bed, we're still at like 19 foot overall, so the packaging is much tighter with the van chassis. We've got a lot of room to play with. So when it came time for the new camper, I looked at several options. One being just a complete flatbed camper, which there are a lot of cool flatbed campers on the market now. It's even from four-wheel campers where we got the Project M. I ultimately decided on this one because I knew I wanted to customize it to my exact needs and also budget. You know, those flatbed campers are pretty expensive. I think this Project M is a bargain for what you get. So yeah, 10-foot bed. The bed is a carryover from the last rig. It's a bit messy right now, but we've got full storage under here that goes side to side. The bed is 100% aluminum, as is the mount for the camper, the box. We try to use aluminum everywhere we can. So we've got storage up front. We've also got storage full width behind the axle. Again, we're set up for camping, so it's a bit messy right now, but it's got everything that I need. Recovery gear, I usually keep recovery gear and tools back here. Up here, I'll keep, camp chairs, my camping tables. I've obviously got my propane, our ARB compressors mounted there. And it's nice to have that amount of storage. Up here, we made this box to fit the area between the camper and the cab. I keep my camp chef is up here, so we made that specifically for the camp chef. I keep a 60 Yeti here. That's mainly for beer. And then I've got some camp chairs in here, and I got my water jug. So here I've got my water outlet. We've got one of these on each side. The driver's side is for the shower, and this side is just so I have water at camp. If I need to boil water, wash my hands, do dishes, we've got full water access, hot and cold, right here on the side of the camper. So this area is my kitchen area. I'm always setting up a table and cooking here. So this is all storage for my food and cooking gear. There's lights in there too, so at night I can light it up. But this is where I like to be outside when I'm camping. I think that's kind of the point of going camping. So I do all my cooking, all my food prep, and everything outside. I can do a few things inside if I need to, but it's pretty rare that I have to cook inside. So over here on the driver's side, we've got our 38-inch Nitto spare tire right here. It's just strapped into this rack. This is, my guys complain a lot because this is, I think, like the 8th or 10th headache rack that we've made for this rig over the years. Here is all our water fill. So we've got a water fill here. This is also a water fill, which actually started out as the vent, but now it's got this garden hose attachment on it, and I actually use that for filling more. The water tank is inside, we'll show you that later. But I've got two different ways, depending on where I am and how I need to get water, two different ways to fill and vent the water. Here we've got a water drain, so I can drain the whole system before winter. This is the heater inlet and outlet. We've got a gasoline powered water heater and air heater that works really well. And this is an electrical plug up if I have shore power, and that will just run the heater if needed. Here's the driver's side water outlet. This is for the shower. So we've got this is a shower enclosure, so that it opens up and you can drop it and take a shower outside if you want to. And that's it for the driver's side. This is the 8-foot Project M. So the Project M is what they call a topper camper. So it's made to just sit on a factory bed rail of a truck. I think the main advantage is you can still use it as a truck, but if you want to go camping on the weekend, you can. We took a different route where we built all of this stuff, in, so it's just a camper. I don't necessarily use this as a truck. So yeah, very spacious. One of the reasons I chose this rig was because of the size of the bed, and the walls were square, so you get a lot of space, especially with the top up. It's just really cozy in here, and I've been enjoying it. So this is the insulation package. I didn't get many options with the Project M. I got the 2 fans, so I have a fan over the bed and a fan here, so we can get nice recirculating air if we need to. And then in the summer, you can open up the windows. The insulation pack is really nice, but basically you've got multiple options. You can have it just as a window, or you can pull this down and have it as a screen, and you get a lot more light, get a lot of cross flow air in here, and you can do this front and back. So if I'm camping at the beach, usually I'll leave these open during the day to preserve some heat if needed up front, or I'll open them all up and just let the air flow. We've also got the windows down low that can be opened, so you get a lot of airflow through here. I've also got the bug screen, so we can put this down and then basically leave everything open and try to keep the bugs out. We've got the galley here, which we built in-house. Just real simple, got a sink, got my gray tank here, got our control panel here. This is for the water heater and the air heater. This is our solar controller. This is a master disconnect for all the electrical. And then we've got our switches here for the water pump. We've got interior lights, and we've got a shower light, which isn't in yet. We've got a porch light on the back, which is just lights up the reverse light. And then we've got a switch for the Starlink. Multiple charge ports and a gauge to let me know what the voltage is doing. Down here we've got the most important part of camping, which is the porta potty. Got a gray tank here. I went real simple on this. I didn't want to overcomplicate it. Here we've got a little bit of storage, which I just keep for towels, and just another little catch-all spot there. We've got our Dometic fridge mounted right here. Originally we were going to put the fridge over on this passenger side shelf, but we moved it over there. Here is the auxiliary bed. So if I'm camping with some of the kids, I'll sleep up top. One of the kids can sleep down here. So like I said earlier, the Project M is made to go on a truck bed, sit on the bed rails. So from what you see here up is all four-wheel camper. We built all of this to adapt this Project M to the flatbed because obviously we didn't have bed sides to mount it to. So all of this is what you saw earlier from my outside storage, the galley, and then we built all of this also. So we've got all of the guts of the camper are all in here. You can hear the heater running right now. So we've got the AquaHot here. We've got my LiPo batteries over there. We've got our 20-gallon water tank with a water pump, and all of the fun stuff. Under the fridge is more electrical. The second battery is under there, and then all of our wiring that runs into here. The heating system works really well. So we've got 3 outlets. We've got one in the galley, one under the fridge, and then one to my right here. And then we got the 4 returns that to pull air back in. Another benefit of this system is that heater heats all of this. So all of these boxes are heated, so I don't have to worry about in the winter anything freezing up. So if the heater's running, I know that all the water lines are also heated, because I do like camping in the winter. Another benefit of the Project M that really got me excited was the bed size. Will take a king size bed. I don't have a king in it right now, but it will accept a king size mattress, which I really like. I like having a big bed at camp and a comfortable bed. So we've got a Hest mattress in there right now, which works out really well. This also, you can convert this into more of a hangout if you want. That slides forward, and I can turn the mattress and fold it up to get more room. So if the weather's really bad, we can hang out in here and spend some time inside out of the elements.
Without question, this is one of the most unique Ford E-Series there is. It works incredibly well and has very well thought out mods to make it a functional camper that can be durable enough to actually go off-road. While it's towering in person, the overall length is actually shorter than a crew cab F-150, and the wheelbase is within an inch of a Jeep Gladiator. For those looking to see this E-350 mix it up on the trail, I'll put a link on the screen now from when it was actually in Windrock Park. There will also be a link at the end of the video where you can find more information on V4 2.0 from when I originally shot the build a few years ago. Well, if you've got any questions about this, just drop them in the comments. If you want to see more stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes, you can always check me out at all social media at Ollie Mansour Editor. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to see you on the trail. Take care.